Diana Mayramova is 8. She has never been on a beach before. The girl is one of more than 300 Ossetian refugees who found shelter at the Russian Black Sea resort of Anapa. Diana's grandmother Yelena says they were hiding together in the basement of their Tskhinvali home when it got shelled by Georgian artillery.
We saw that our house caught fire too. We ran out, but didn't know where to go. We were so scared.
Yelena's daughter Salima says their grandfather, a 90-year-old man, is still in Tskhinvali.
Grandpa is alive, but there is no bread or any food. I think he is still sitting in the cold basement, hungry.
For thousands of South Ossetian civilians who suffered from the Georgian bombings, these were the days of fear and despair.
For the whole day we looked into the face of death. The shooting was so strong, the noise was overwhelming. We thought that we would surely die.
This group of refugees spent almost 20 hours on the road before they arrived in the Krasnodar region. The local administration in Anapa provided transportation, housing, food and clothes. Russia says it's prepared to accept thousands of refugees from Tskhinvali here on the Black Sea coast. For South Ossetia's women, children and elders, this is one of the few places where they can feel safe now and try to forget about the horrors they've seen as Georgia bombed their homes. Anapa is a traditional children's resort. Mayor Anatoly Pakhomov says it was a very emotional time for him to see these kids, too tired to smile, too scared after what they had witnessed. Pakhomov says the locals are doing their best to help the refugees.
We understood that children spent a lot of time on the road. We had to immediately wash and feed them, and then put them to bed. So we very quickly accommodated the kids in a matter of half an hour.
Nobody in the camp knows what's going to happen after they spend a month here. Everyone is hoping that the tragedy in Tskhinvali will never happen again, and that Georgian leaders who ordered the bombings of South Ossetia will pay for their crimes.
On behalf of me personally, and on behalf of the people of Ossetia, I appeal to the President and to the Prime Minister of the Russian Federation to acknowledge us, to acknowledge South Ossetia, and deliver us from these fascists.
As it's getting darker, the Ossetian children gather on the beach. It's their first evening in their new home. They light candles, hoping that their loved ones in Tskhinvali are still alive and that there will be no more fighting in South Ossetia. Denis Bolotsky, RT.